Things are progressing nicely on the Tacoma Link light rail expansion. Area youth are learning what it's like to be in law enforcement, and now is the perfect time to go outside and explore our many nature trails. All this just ahead on Tacoma Report. Hi, and welcome to this edition of Tacoma Report. I'm Angie Foster. The City of Tacoma is working with community, homelessness service providers, and advocates to continue to find locations for building shelter capacity, addressing permanent housing concerns, and finding innovative ways to help people access the services they need. Recently, the city cleaned up the encampment underneath I-705 due to growing health and safety concerns at the site. Through this effort, outreach staff contacted more than 50 individuals and worked with those who are homeless to connect them with shelter and resources. Encampments create health and safety concerns for people living in and around them, yet people also need places to go that are safe. The city continues to look for partners who want to assist. Learn more at the City of Tacoma webpage. The city's Office of Environmental Policy and Sustainability is leading an effort along with Tacoma Public Schools, the University of Washington Tacoma, Tacoma Pierce County Health Department, and Microsoft Research to get a better understanding of air quality issues and the inequities in the community. In 2020, Tacoma was identified by the Microsoft Research Project Eclipse team as an ideal location to test its prototype air sensors. The city was selected because of the potential to compare observations to Tacoma Equity Index, as well as help enhance local data on air quality. For more information and program updates, visit the Sustainability Office's page and click Air Quality Monitoring. If you're looking for a great way to spend time outdoors and also help out the community, Metro Parks Tacoma has some volunteer events that might just be right for you and your family. On Saturday, March 5th, a volunteer work party will be taking place at China Lake on South Shirley from 9 to noon. Here, volunteers will be working to help restore the park's natural area. There are 2 events taking place on Saturday, March 12th. One will be at Franklin Park, where volunteers will be removing invasive plants and keeping the park clean. Also that day, help is needed at the Dickman Mill Park, which is located along the Tacoma waterfront, to help maintain this beautiful shoreline restoration project. Oak Tree Park will be the site of a volunteer work party on March 19th, where invasive plants will be removed, as well as litter being picked up to keep the park clean. And then on Friday, April 1st, head over to the Tacoma Nature Center, where volunteers will be helping to maintain the trails and grounds that surround Snake Lake. More information on all volunteer activities with Metro Parks Tacoma can be found by going to their website. Sometimes the hard work of people in Tacoma goes unnoticed because it happens behind the scene. That's evident when you visit any one of the amazing parks we have in our area. Today, Lane Fickey takes a look at how one aspect of our park system is cared for.
It doesn't matter what the weather conditions are like. People love walking around Snake Lake at the Tacoma Nature Center. And because of all that activity, maintenance on these trails is a top priority.
With over 2.5 miles of trails, David Oktuk and the other maintenance workers have their hands full keeping the pathway safe for visitors at the Tacoma Nature Center at Snake Lake, especially during the rainy season when some of the trails aren't even accessible. Trail maintenance is a year-round endeavor, and it's more than just picking up the occasional litter that might pop up.
There is definitely the trimming back of the branches that are growing over the trail. There is adding gravel to the trail to make it more walkable and even, to make sure that it doesn't flood as much. Our maintenance staff has done an amazing job over the last couple of years of even raising the trail in a few spots, because we're on a wetland, and so there's a lot of flooding. In fact, right now our students can't get all the way around our trail because it's been so rainy. So they've raised trails, they've added logs, they've added gravel. In a couple of spots they've widened it a little bit to make it a little bit safer for passage and to make sure we can get our vehicles all the way around the park as well to maintain it.
It's not uncommon to see school groups from throughout the area exploring the Nature Center. For some, it might be their first time coming to this forested area, and the Tacoma Nature Center staff wants to make sure that visitors have the best experience possible.
We constantly work throughout all the year. Especially this time of the year, the rainy season tends to be the most work, laying a lot of gravel down. During the summer months, we actually install some of these logs on the side of the trail, and then we're helping build that up because there's a lot of low-lying areas, and that's where all the flooding starts happening. And so I just want people just to come here and enjoy, just to walk freely without getting their feet all wet.
While it's easy to see where the trails are around Snake Lake, some people occasionally wander off to do some exploring, and this activity requires some action from the Tacoma Nature Center crew.
We want to stop some of the social trails that are not planned, because as people are exploring the park, they say, oh, that looks really cool, and as soon as somebody sees one person go off the trail, they're like, oh, I should try it too. So the maintenance staff also is trying to stop the trails that are not part of our trail system. They do a lot of work. I would say it takes a significant amount of their time to keep our trails safe and maintained and user-friendly. And we also have some trails that are ADA accessible or a little bit more accessible for people using strollers and wheelchairs. So it's really important that we're keeping those well maintained and very user-friendly.
There's a lot to see when visiting the Tacoma Nature Center at Snake Lake, and that's thanks in part to the people who do a lot of looking down to make sure that the trails in this amazing area are safe and clear to walk on. For Tacoma Report, I'm Lane Fickey.
You can view a map of all the trails at the Tacoma Nature Center by visiting the Metro Parks Tacoma website. Construction on the Hilltop Tacoma Link extension is over 90% complete. Crews have moved underground utilities, laid miles of track in the roadway, and installed hundreds of new power poles, curbs, and gutters. There is a little more to go as crews continue to connect the existing track to the new track, complete finishes at 7 new stations, and start to receive, test, and commission 5 new vehicles. The Tacoma Link currently runs from the Tacoma Dome to the city's theater district. The extension is adding 2.4 miles that will run from the theater district through the stadium and hilltop districts before ending at St. Joseph's Medical Center. Sound Transit announced that they are expecting to open the extended service the first quarter of 2023. Calling all McKinley Hill neighbors to participate in planning for neighborhood enhancements. The next opportunity to share your thoughts about what makes McKinley great is March 10th at 5:30 p.m. on Zoom. More information about the program and how to stay involved is available at the Neighborhood Planning webpage. The Tacoma Police Department sponsors Police Explorer Post 711 for youth interested in a potential career in the law enforcement field. The Explorer program is open to all youth and young adults who are at least 15 years old or 14 years old and a high school freshman and no older than 19. As an Explorer, students learn different aspects of law enforcement, including officer safety techniques, de-escalation resources and response, handling high-risk and routine calls, report writing, and more. Explorers meet weekly for both lectures and practical experience. They also participate in community events throughout the year, typically held on weekends.
Explorers attend a week-long academy. They are required to attend it within a year of being accepted in the post and every year after. And then those academies are held in August and December. December is in the winter break, so it doesn't interfere with school.
Explorers act as volunteer representatives of the Tacoma Police Department and are registered as City of Tacoma volunteer workers. All Explorers must be mature and professional, maintain a minimum grade point average of 2.5, pass a physical ability test, and maintain good attendance at school and post meetings. To learn more, visit the Community Programs section of the Tacoma Police Department website. The moratorium on utility disconnections for non-payment will continue through Tacoma Public Utilities until March 31st. This date will provide customers with advance notice to plan to pay down past due balances and apply for available payment assistance before disconnections for non-payment resume. When the moratorium ends, TPU will place past due balances on an automatic, interest-free 24-month installment plan. Customers on the installment plans must stay current on new usage charges while paying off past due balances to prevent disconnection. If customers do not stay current on new and past payments, their utility service will be subject to shutoff as TPU is required to collect on these balances. If you're struggling to stay on top of your installment plan, you might be eligible for assistance. Relief funds are still available through several sources and utility assistance programs, but customers with past due balances must apply for them while they last. More information is available at mytpu.org/COVID-19. And finally, Mayor Victoria Woodards will present this year's State of the City address on March 10th at 6 p.m. This year's theme is Stronger, Many Voices, One Community. Topics covered during her address will include affordable housing, homelessness, public safety, and recovery from the global health and economic crisis. Her remarks can be viewed on TV Tacoma or tvtacoma.com, on Facebook Live at facebook.com/City of Tacoma, and on Zoom. That's all the time we have on this edition of Tacoma Report. A great way to find out about the services the City of Tacoma has to offer is by going to cityoftacoma.org. We leave you now at the former ferry landing at Titlow Beach. The chugging of the ferries are quiet now, with cormorants taking over the Maritime Watch. Until next time, I'm Angie Foster. Thanks for watching.